Hey guys, ORAForce Gaming here. It's been a while, and I'd like to apologize to the probably like 3 people who've been missing my content over the past 6 months. But anyway, I'm making this video because it's over, kind of. And before the 3 of you get scared, no, I'm not jumping on the quitting YouTube bandwagon. Not yet, anyway. But what I mean by it's over is that it's been a rough few days for Halo Infinite, to say the least. And to be honest, it's been a rough couple of years. But a few days ago, Halo Infinite Season 6 dropped. Let's go! Wait, what? No, Season 6? What in the Master Cheeks is CU9? Just as Halo Infinite finally reached seasonality after 2 years, 343 just decided to move on. Well, on the positive side, at least I'll have time to go back and finish these ancient relics. Now, I don't want to be too harsh on 343, but I'm going to be a little harsh today. They've done an overall good job in the past year or so getting Infinite to the point where it is right now. Pretty stable player base, and, a generally happy player base. And the game feels content complete at this point. And I guess evidently the higher-ups at Microsoft decided that it's time to start working on the next Halo title to give the series the jumpstart that Halo Infinite should have been. Now, before I get into whether this was a good decision or not on Microsoft's part, in my opinion, let's go through what was actually in the update. Cosmetic Update 29. So let's start off with the good stuff. The gameplay-related content. Oh wait, we only got one map and a couple of events. Wow. The map is called Illusion, and it's actually quite a fun map. I've played one match on it, and it's actually very fun. I had a great time. The active camo hallway is a great gimmick for a social map, and it makes the map feel like more than just a 3-lane map. Like, it is a 3-lane map, but it really doesn't feel like it is because of that little gimmick on the center hallway. The gameplay flows quite well, although it gets a little bit goofy with spawns sometimes because the map is quite small, and also the active camo hallway. But, overall, it's a very good map. I think this was a great addition, and, pretty big W. Illusion is a W. Also on the gameplay side, we're seeing the return of Cyber Showdown and the Yappening events from past years, and these are in the form of new operation passes, which take us through April 30th. So that's basically the content that we have kind of laid out for us. 3 operation passes through April 30th. And, that was some good stuff, but that is literally, it for, gameplay content. There wasn't much, which is a little bit disappointing. But now it's time to actually talk about the actual update, which is the cosmetic content, which is why we have been calling this update Cosmetic Update 29. Who would have guessed? I'm sure no one figured that out. There are a large number of purchasable cosmetics available in Halo Infinite's shop right now to capitalize on the new Mark IV armor core, which I gotta admit looks pretty dope. It's a pretty cool armor core. There's a lot of special offers in the shop with attachments and stuff for the Mark IV armor core, which is completely understandable. The problem is they're ridiculously overpriced, which we'll talk about later. 343 also added cross-core customization for shoulder attachments, which is pretty cool. This is obviously a W. More cross-core customization is always good. But honestly, it should have been like this at launch, so it's it's a W, but it's a small W. The overall amount of content was pretty lackluster, I gotta say. We got a fair bit of content. It was not enough for a full like season gameplay wise. But for a mini content drop, it was actually quite reasonable, especially on the cosmetic side. The problem is we weren't expecting a mini content update with some cosmetics. We were expecting a full season with a full battle pass, all 50 tiers, and like a new mode or a new gun or new equipment, something other than just one map. And I really think that like if 343 just like come out and like said on Twitter or something, like during season 5 just said, "Hey, this is the last full season. We're doing operation passes from now on." Obviously people still would have been very upset, but it would have been less of a surprise, and I think it would have made people more understanding of their decision. But this isn't even like the biggest problem with the update. When 343 Industries first announced the new operations system that was to replace seasonal events, I was cautiously optimistic. I thought it was a good idea because you get more time, to complete the event and stuff. But at the time, I thought that like it would be like events where you progress the event pass and the current battle pass at the same time. But that was not the case. The operation pass basically just replaced the current battle pass, which I didn't like very much because events allowed you to progress both at the same time. So it was a bit of a trade-off. I'm pros and cons. I don't really care too much, but the main thing is as soon as I realized that operations basically replace the current season's battle pass, I kind of realized like this is probably going to be 343's long-term content strategy. And now that 343 is done away with seasons and is just having these operations, my suspicions have most definitely been confirmed. And I get to say something that I don't get to say very often on this channel. I was right! I didn't exactly like see this coming per se, but it just like doesn't surprise me one bit based on how operations were introduced. Like I said, it's like a season in the season, except it like replaced the season. Again, doesn't make that much sense, but you know what I mean. A lot of the development team at 343 has moved on to working on the next Halo title in Unreal Engine. All cool stuff, very understandable from a business standpoint. But like, again, we just kind of got blindsided by this. Like, we were expecting full season and we get like barely anything. And at least 343 isn't just completely dropping Infinite. Like, they're not abandoning the community. We're still getting a trickle of content, but like this entire thing is just tainted by the incredibly scummy monetization of this update. Like, why is the shop so freaking expensive? Like, I've only spent enough money on Halo Infinite to buy a battle pass, which is probably why matchmaking doesn't like me. But like, even I think this is ridiculous. Like, I won't get into too many details. Like, you can go like watch Mint Blitzed if you want to get into the weeds on like how bad these deals are. But Microsoft is obviously trying to squeeze as much money as possible out of this game while the next title is being worked on. And it really just feels like a slap in the face to the community. Like, you still can't buy individual armor pieces. Everything's locked behind bundles. You want like one like sniper attachment and you have to pay like $50 for a whole like huge bundle. Most of the stuff you'll never use. In addition, the operation pass sucks. It's basically just a bunch of backgrounds. Like, it's all just filler that I don't think anyone's ever going to use. Like, I looked through the entire thing, and the only things I will ever use is like the 4 pieces of attachments for the Mark IV armor core. That's it. Like, I get to take advantage of like 3 or 4 tiers of the entire 20 tier pass, maybe. Like, we've supported this game through thick and thin, and this is what we continue to get. It's horrible monetization that's just taking advantage of people who don't know anything different. Like, obviously, this monetization strategy, to an extent, works. Like, people are buying these things. And it's because a lot of, especially probably younger people, don't realize that video games didn't used to be like this. Like, you used to be able to buy things for reasonable prices. And not to mention, like, other issues with the update, such as like skill-based matchmaking just being completely broken, especially in the rank playlist. 343 attempted to switch the ranked matchmaking over from MMR back to CSR again. They tried to do this before and it like broke the game, so they switched it back, I think, or like secretly switched it back. And then they're fixing it again, and it's having like Onyx ranked players matching against gold and then placing platinum. It's ridiculous, dude. I really just think skill-based matchmaking needs like an entire overhaul in almost all video games. It just needs a serious examination, right? The entire industry needs to take a serious look at skill-based matchmaking, because here's the thing. If all the games get rid of this super strict skill-based matchmaking, new players are just going to have to deal with it no matter what game they go to, right? I know it's hard to get an entire industry to get behind something, but like, it didn't used to be like this. So like, why does it have to be like this now, you know? But I guess getting back on track with Halo, I think for the next title to be successful, 343 and Microsoft need to realize that what they're doing right now is not acceptable. Like, I would say, like, get rid of the free-to-play model. Charge me $70 for the next game. I don't care. The free-to-play model has brought up so many problems for Halo that just have not existed in the past, and I don't think the free-to-play, like, accessibility part of it really benefits the game that much, especially considering how bad launch was. Free-to-play just encourages rampant cheating and horrible monetization policy, and, you know, Halo is such a big name in the gaming space that, like, I don't think it's that big of an ask to get people to pay full price for the game, or even, like, pay $30 or something, have it discounted. It's not a huge ask, and once you get players in the game, they're more likely to stay because it will, in theory, be a content complete game at launch and not have cheating very much, and, you know, have reasonable deals in the shop and more fun games because they've fixed skill-based matchmaking, right? This is like ideal scenario. I don't think this is probably going to happen, but this is what I hope will happen. Alright. Rant over. And before I end the video, I want to quickly talk about my plans for the channel, since who knows when the next time I'll upload is. This video almost feels like a sequel to one of the first videos I ever posted. I think it was like the third or fourth video on my channel. And it was concerning like when EA cut off support for Star Wars Battlefront 2. By the way, please don't go watch this video for your sake as well as mine. It was not a good video. Anyway, basically, you know, the game I've been basing the channel around is getting less content and will probably die in the relatively nearish future. It's a little bit less imminent for Halo than it was for Star Wars Battlefront 2, but it's a similar situation. I do plan on continuing to make Halo content, but I'm also will definitely be branching out like I have been over the past year or so, just to keep myself sane. And funnily enough, the background gameplay you've been watching is actually from a video that I planned on making months ago at the start of Season 5, and I just never finished it. And I have a couple other similar videos that I will probably publish sometime in the coming weeks. And I will also have a new series that I plan on starting very soon as well. So look forward to that. And this is the time where I tell you to subscribe so you don't miss a video. Please don't kill me. I had to do it. It's part of the contract, okay? And also, for those unaware, I'm in my senior year of high school, and I'll be attending college next fall, so the future of the channel is a little bit unclear. But if I'm able to continue creating content in college, I most likely will. I really do love making videos, and, it's time for me to tell you to subscribe again so you don't miss one. Also, leave a like. Again, part of the contract. I had to say it. And thank you guys for watching, and if you made it to the end, you're a real one. Give yourself a round of applause. I don't know how you made it through all my rambling. And I'm sure I glazed over something from the update, so please feel free to give me a little roast in the comments, or just leave a nice comment, your choice. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.